We will talk about plot. Right. So, plot is actually the term that is used to describe the events that make up a story. Regardless of whatever culture we are looking at, whichever epic we are looking at, or whether it's an epic, a play, a film, or a book, any narrative has a plot. And what is a plot? Basically, it's a series of events. But here, what is important is the manner in which the events are related to each other, the manner in which they are arranged in relation to each other. So, there is a kind of causal relationship or a causal interconnectedness between events. So event A follows event B, or maybe event A happened because of event B. So, when you have this kind of an interconnected logic, that arrangement is what actually plot refers to. So, summarily stating, organization of events make up the plot, and like I said, it's a cause and effect relationship. Now what it does is this kind of a cause and effect relationship, which very often we do not find in life, but obviously when we are reading something we want to be engaged with it, and obviously the writer also wants us to engage with it, which is why the events are arranged or structured, or they follow each other in such a way that it arouses the interest of the reader and it keeps us engaged with the text, right? Now, moving on, this is a diagram. This is a classic design of a plot where, to start with, if you look over here, you have the exposition where when a story starts, you are introduced to the setting, the context, the period in which the story is taking place, the characters, and the basic situation. So that's called the exposition phase. Then you have the conflict, where you can see that there's a struggle between opposing forces that drives the action of the story. So you kind of get to figure out that from here there is a kind of twist or a problem. There's an indication of a problem, and obviously now things are not going to uh, proceed very smoothly. And then, as a result of this conflict, you have something which is called the rising action. So, a chain of events or a series of events where the action keeps mounting, and obviously, all this is building up towards the climax where the action peaks and the conflict peaks. Okay, so I'm sure if you have watched movies, you will find this kind of a pattern in almost all films. And obviously, films borrow from plays and stories and epics before them, because these genres existed even before films happened, right? And then after the climax, you have the falling action. So you have this portion of the story where the conflict decreases and the problem is resolved, and gradually everything sorts itself out. And finally, you have the resolution, which is the outcome of the conflict. So this is a classic diagram of a plot, you can say.